All right, this is Robert Forsch with the YouTube channel Truth. I'm on my way into the, gosh, that is pretty amazing, at the Coastal Preserve. Yeah, I'm gonna have to kind of get moving pretty quick here. Sun is gonna set from this vantage point in less than a half hour. The tide is going out right now, and I just wanted to show you in relationship to where the house is here. The sun is setting over the roof of the house there, and just to be clear, the sun came up over here this morning. It's setting right there. So it should be a pretty sunset. Feel free to reach out. Call me anytime, hashtag my name. I've got some mind-blowing content. It's not just about the shape of the earth, it's, well, so much more. And I cover that. Where in the world could a wind chime hang upside down in relationship to another wind chime? It's not possible. So, there you have it. We had about a 5.5 foot tide tonight, and right now I'm using the record feature on the YouTube video, so we'll see how that turns out. I believe the quality is quite a bit better than a Facebook. It also keeps the orientation in the proper direction. Looks like I've got a little coconut oil on the lens there. It's a little bit better. Yeah. Alrighty. So I'm exposing the global deception, which encompasses more than the shape of the earth. It encompasses so much of what we're told is reality, is like science fiction, fantasy. Just so you know. I thought I should tell you. So let's flip this around, show you what it looks like Sunday night. And even when I'm I'd like to be there already. However, I'm not gonna speed to do that. The moon is up high in the sky there. When I get to the Coastal Preserve, I'll go ahead and fire up the P1000. That should be interesting. I'll be able to zoom in on the moon according to the clarity of the sky. Should be no problem to get a good moon shot. The sun and the moon are actually, as best I can tell, in the midst of the clouds, just as the Bible says. So I'm going to flip this around and see if I can actually show you the moon in the middle of the view. Oh yeah, there it is. Good deal. And even though I'm in a hurry, let you hear the V8 kick in, I'll go the speed limit, because there's a chemical cocktail that's released when doing things like sports. I don't like to do risky things like break the speed limit though, so I just lock it in at the speed limit. I just had a very interesting phone call come in. I get some very interesting calls. I don't know who they are. Could be working for the Department of Defense. Could be they're not able to watch this video right now, or are they? Artificial intelligence is, I believe. Even on the record feature, I'm not live according on the in that category of situation with YouTube. It's the record feature, but the way that I believe it works, it's creates a download that's a fraction of the time of a conventional type of a downloading of a video. It may take me an hour and a half to download one of my videos with the P1000. The same length video on the record feature is like a few minutes. So there's something going on there. It's like sending it into the system. It's being evaluated. Okay, so up in the, wow, we can see the sun in the rear view mirror. And from this vantage point, the moon is right up in the middle of the view there. There we go. That's how it is. And if you care to, you can monitor from your vantage point where the sun and the moon appear and vanish, the path that they run. Well, it doesn't add up with what the globe model says. Not only that, it's not possible for people to live on a spinning water sphere. Yep, cue up. Hey Bob, cue up the spinning water sphere. Let's see what that looks like. And it's not real. It's science fiction, is what it is. And like this young man I was talking to, sounds like he's in his early 20s. Oh, I was going to show you, let's see, I'll show you when I get to the coastal preserve, where the sun appeared and where it's vanishing today. And you can check it out. He said, what if you were wrong and all this that you're talking about is actually real? Well, that's not possible with the law of non-contradiction. The official narrative has so much deception in it, so much false information appearing real. They make people afraid. Isn't that special? Yeah. So because I have a healthy fear of God, a fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So he's all-knowing, he's all-powerful, and I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to live, die, or tell the truth. And like I say, I was afraid to do all of that. One of the other evidences of the reality of God is that I've got a different nature. Noticeably, so different than I used to be. I used to be easily intimidated, even though I had a persona that I wasn't going to take any crap from anybody. I was still very intimidated. Okay, so the sun came up in the middle of the view. Whoa, I got to zoom out. There we go. Over there. And now it's setting way back over there in relationship to the waterway. You'll see it in the view tonight. So in the morning, I'll park the car right where I did this morning for this morning's broadcast. And then you can see it. Moon up in the upper left there. Should be able to see that. Let's see if I can draw more color to it, more attention to it. The magnification, when I piggyback the I think I've got to throw a new battery in the camera. Anyway, the difference between the magnified view with the P1000 is astronomical. I had music with the video this morning and not much talking, but I thought that would be more appealing to some. Evidently not as much. However, the view counts, I don't know. I'm probably gonna upload my library to LBRY. I started hashtagging it, It doesn't mean I'm going to leave YouTube. It still has the main recognition. I'll probably also have a LBRY account. It's, I believe, it's supposed to be a blockchain technology that has some pretty strong benefits. I've got to look at the user agreements and that to see if that's exactly what I'm going to do. I wouldn't want to lose all my YouTube content, so I just have to make sure I can keep them both. If I can just put it in another location and have that exist, that'd be just great. All right. So even though it's substantial, okay, so I'm going to show you that's where the sun came up in the middle of the view there. What's amazing to me is the young children see the logo. Like when I went to the pier this afternoon, Cherry Grove Pier, met some people that are subscribers. They love my channel and wanted stickers. That was so cool. One of the other things is that I would see young children diaper age rubbernecking at my shirt because they see the YouTube Truth logo on there. And I got a big smile and showing them as well. Water seeks level, covers the face of the earth. That's what it does. Doesn't stick to a ball. A spinning water sphere. You know, I made a comment that the globe exists only in the imagination. I mean literally the actual globe they say we live on. That's the one I'm talking about. I got a globe in the back seat of my car. A couple of them. They're science fiction. They're props for a science fiction extravaganza that we're living in. How about that? So I'm going to run this without the tripod. I'm just going to take us out and freehand the whole thing. It'll uncomplicate some issues for me. Wow, yeah, I can see the big waves. According to this area, they're bigger than most. A boat out there. All right, here he is. So thanks for all the public and private encouragement. I get some very interesting calls from people all over the earth. And so I've got my phone all rigged up just the way I want it to be. There we go. And so the sun came up over here, but the sun is setting over there. So I'm just going to take us on over. Should be able to see it at the end of the walk out there. And the moon is right up over there. I'll be able to see that from the end of the walk out there. Uh-oh. All right, so I just activated the P1000, and I showed us where the sun came up. The car is right over there on the other side of that vehicle, and that's where the sun came up. Where the sun and the moon appear and vanish on the horizon can't be explained by the spinning wobblating oblate water sphere they say we live on. The blue planet. It's science fiction, y'all. Just so you know. They're making this stuff up. They're lying. I ain't buying. That's how it is. So this is more of a documentary. It's not just a relaxing video. There's the moon and the reflection of the moon right there. I'll zoom in on that a little bit. Kind of interesting. Alrighty, well, there's the sun right there. Wow. So the sun is clearly vanishing there and came up right in the middle of the view there. And I think this is probably the best place to zoom in on the sun. It's more to establish location, and then of course here we've got the moon. I'll be able to get a much better shot of the moon. The sun and the moon and stars move over the stationary level Earth. In the view right there, you should be able to see the building reflection where it's more glassy right there. And I've got the lighting from behind me to make those easier to see. Yeah, it's unusual to see a boat here. This was, like I said, 5.5 foot tide. I've seen a 7-footer here that comes up quite a bit higher, a couple feet. I think I might be able to get a little bit more of a view here of the sun. There we go. Good evening. So as the moon moves over the face of the Earth, it's going to run a path from this vantage point. I'll show it to you. Basically, it's going to drop down over there in the middle of the view. And so we've got the sun setting there in the middle of the view, and it came up over there in the middle of the view. So I'm going to pan on over and just show you how that looks. Came up in the northeast, setting in the northwest. So I've got that documented. I've shown it. So it's a video documentation, not just to look at how pretty and relaxing it all is. It's to show you the reality of it. Now I do have video, extended video. See the view of the Prince Resort right there, the reflection of it. There's the top of it. Now I'm going to back out and center it. You should be able to see it, and the symmetry is perfect. There it is. And I'll zoom in with the the iPhone 10, you should be able to see that. So there would be no level anywhere if the Earth was moving. See, even though the waves are coming over towards us, they're pretty gentle and small, and the water is still basically level. It's not concave for you concave earthers. It's not convex. It's mostly flat and level. There you go. That's the way it is. That's what Walter Cronkite used to say. Remember? If you're old enough, I'm probably going to find that sound bite. I'll do it for you. And that's the way it is. It's kind of what he would say. You know, he was a New World Order operative. They've been putting people in high places in the public eye for a long time to give us our opinions, to give us our beliefs. Wow, that's a boat that's rigged up to operate in some serious shallow water with that tiller way out there, or the prop way out there. Pretty cool. Notice how it got all quiet here? He's throwing a net. Hey! Have you caught any yet? Hey, good luck, man. You're welcome. So the open ocean is just on the other side of the Prince Resort there. That's in the middle of the view. And we can see the lights shooting across the water, indicating how flat and level it is. That's what they do. That's what they're showing us. That's what they're showing me. And I talk to people quite often, and it's not really about the information that's presented. It's about the individual. Wow. So now I can zoom in on the moon a little bit better. It's much closer. In the clouds means that it's, well, a few miles away. I don't know how big this puddle is that covers the face of the earth and how fast the sun and the moon are moving. I don't know. There is mystery with it. I'm okay with that. I'll go with the biblical narrative. And even though some say that the Bible is a fairy tale, or much like it, I'm going to agree with what Scripture says until I'm presented, if there was a possibility to be, hi there, presented information that would contradict that. I know that there's plenty of information that people create to discredit the Bible. That's not what I'm talking about. I would mean solid evidence that caused doubt for me to have. What I would simply say too, there's a big bird I'd like to zoom in on. Looks like an osprey or something, I'm not sure. Nope. Maybe a big pellet. I'm not sure what he is. Anyway, what I was going to say about all that is my changed life is a powerful example. Well, let me zoom out a little bit. My changed life, new nature, powerful example of the reality of God in my life. Now I can do what He created me to do, I believe, and that's tell the truth. In a world that is deliberately looking to be distracted from reality. Think about it. We've got all kinds of supposed reality shows, and they're pretty ridiculous, most of them. What I'm wanting to show you is the reality of the world that we live in, as long as I can. My liked video playlist covers some very powerful reality for you to consider. You can call me anytime you like. I'm going to go ahead and yeah, I'll take us for a little bit more of a ride, I think. Oh, you know what? For my end of this video with the P1000, I'll go ahead and zoom in on the moon and end it there. We didn't land on the moon. That's ridiculous. One of the other things that I would like you to consider, and I had wondered this for a long time, from a young age. So if we needed a rocket to launch us off of the Earth in the lunar, the moon travel, why didn't we need one to launch off of the moon? Did we just tumble back on down, fall back down to Earth? How does that even work? It's actually all ridiculous, all of it, the whole situation. We didn't have the fuel to get back either. Apparently, according to live footage, supposedly, what we were presented is that they didn't have enough, they were running out of fuel to land on the moon. Would they have a fueling station there on the moon to fill back up? No, they didn't. They're lying about all that. I'm telling on them. If it was just about the moon landing, that would be one thing. It's about so much of what we're presented as our supposed history and more. So I've had this shot in my few other videos. I'll put it in this one again. It says dead end, no turnaround. It's kind of like a meme, but it's true. When you're dead, you don't really get to choose anymore. And in fact, as best I can tell, we have less choice than I realized. I'm actually, as a Bible believer, a biblical creationist that I am, I believe God is sovereign, meaning He's in charge. Friends of mine there, they've got their cool little golf cart. You know, it's kind of interesting. He's a business owner, owns a large car dealership, one of the biggest ones in the area here. And I end up meeting people in all different backgrounds, and I pay attention. I'll listen to what they have to say. One of the benefits of having videos like I do and like we share, it's not just what I do. I want you to really understand that I am simply, you know, I'll talk about videos that I found. I can remember, retrieve, and present as I believe I should, in a somewhat humorous way, depending on who I'm talking to, and how I do that. It's other people that are creating powerful content, videos to engage the heart and the mind. I don't know of anybody that's shown the upside down world in detail the way I have. The upside down world that exists only in the imagination, from the earth. That's where we are. So I'll just flip the camera upside down. Thinking outside the box, if you wanted to take your flat screen TV and turn it upside down, I believe you would have an upside down view. Pretty sure that's how it would work. So there's South Africa. I can probably rig it up to show you Australia. Australia, are you okay? We don't have toilet water flying out on people in Australia because of gravity. Well, hello, it's just water seeking its level. It's just what it does. It's how it works. So, the sun came up there and sat over there, right in the middle of the view. Clearly not an east to west movement directly. And I've had the opportunity to capture the sun in the midst of the clouds on many, many occasions. And that's one of the hashtags that I have is local sun. And I'll hashtag other titles like DEW, directed energy weapons. Yeah, and I've got official videos from Lockheed Martin. You can see them. I invited my friends to like the DARPA page. Does it mean I'm a fan of autonomous weapons killing people? No. I'm wanting to show you the official page that lends credibility to what I'm saying about the technology that we have available that's actually being unleashed on humanity. And the Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars document talks about it a bit. And it's a video that I asked my friends to, a page that I created, Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, and then the video narrates it. I did a live broadcast with it too, because I simply wanted to have it be my video. It was my way of mirroring it, but instead of just mirroring a video, when I broadcast it, at the time that I did the live broadcast, it shows that there's a live broadcast coming from me. I'm just doing the best I can to kind of fit this together. I'm going a little different way home. This is over the they call it the swing bridge. And I'll show you how it looks. I'll show you the bridge that I normally drive over when I get on this bridge, then I'll be able to show you. Okay, that's the bridge we went over, and that's towards the open ocean where the sun came up, and obviously in the middle of the view is where the sun is setting. Came up over there, setting over there from this vantage point. So as all of this happens, kind of interestingly, there's quite a different appearance. Before I was actually born again, I remember having a neighbor next door, and we would talk about, I said, you know, I'm noticing that where the sun is setting in different places. Why is that? And I didn't know what was going on. I do now. The sun and the moon move a course above the stationary Earth. That's what's going on. That's how it works. So the hood is a convex mirror. It distorts differently. So when there's a curve like that, we can see it. And then when there's a curve in the other direction, I can see that too. like on the front ends of when my car is reflecting in another car. So over there, let me, I'll just take it out of the bracket. This is over the top of North Myrtle Beach High. It's where my wife Joni went to school. And Vanna White. It's been updated a few times, I'm sure. Home of the Chiefs, as they call it. So it looks different from here, of course. I did a recording with this app, and I'm not sure if I go over an hour, I think I might have a problem, so I'm going to keep it less than an hour, and that way I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, those are just headlights behind me there. That fuel transport truck that we drove by can drop 500 gallons of fuel per minute. What that means is not only is the gas going out, the vapor from the gas tank is going back into the storage tank. It creates a flow. It's going down and out and actually pressurizing and pushing it out. Interesting, isn't it? Yeah, it's just how it actually works. So when God opened up the windows of heaven and allowed a whole bunch of water to flood the earth, there was a lot of atmosphere, a lot of air that was getting shoved back up into the firmament. As I move a lot of water to bathe in, I'm handling the 5-gallon jugs and pouring it in into containers. Excuse me. And because of that, I end up working with funnels and all of that too. And there's an important thing with airflow. Flow is very important. And in our lives too, I believe flow is very important. I'm willing to dispense the truth that God is sending my way. So He is all-knowing. Now, artificial intelligence has some capacity to process massive amounts of data. Well, God, who spoke this world into existence, Yahweh, Yeshua, the Alpha and Omega, Jesus, is the identity that many people today will recognize Him as. That's why I keep on using the name Jesus, because if I were to just use His Hebrew name, most people wouldn't even know who I'm talking about. That's the one. He's the living Word, the living water, the great I Am, the Most High, the Most Holy, all of that. He's all of those and more. Many names. He's my Heavenly Father. So last year when we had Hurricane Florence, we didn't have a bunch of fuel trucks coming in to give us fuel. We ran out of fuel. That was interesting. That's one of the reasons why I mentioned that about the fuel. Now, for our typical holiday seasons, plenty of fuel. Lots of fuel, abundant fuel. And why is it that they didn't supply the fuel? It's kind of interesting. It could be a big problem. If there was an interruption in the electrical power grid, our power supply, could be a big problem. We don't have to concern ourselves necessarily with Kim Jong-un or any third world country despot supposedly hitting us with an electromagnetic pulse weapon to knock out the power grid. Artificial intelligence has the capacity to do that now. However, God is still all-powerful and all-knowing, and nothing in this world is going to happen that He doesn't directly cause or allow. I'm grateful for that. Okay, so starting out where we were, what I wanted to show you, okay, the YouTube Truth Mobile. There we go again. And as I showed earlier from this vantage point, so we've got the moon high in the sky there right now, okay? And that's the open ocean there. You can look back and see it's going to come up over there and then drop way down over here, okay? The sun, on the other hand, came up at the end of the street over there and set in the middle of the view there. So, why does that matter? Well, they're running a different path. The sun and the moon and stars move a path over the stationary Earth. That's the way it actually works. And that's the truth about that. So what are you going to do with that information? I want to see if I can put something else in the view. Oh yeah. Oops, sorry about that. So I'll put it in my end of video shot right there. I've got that on some of my photos like that. You can reach out and call me anytime. YouTube Truth is my Skype handle. This is Robert Forsch with YouTube channel Truth. You can hashtag my name. On Instagram, I'm Robert J. Forsch. Should be able to find me though. If you start searching for my stuff, you'll find out that I'm pretty busy guy. Feel free to reach out anytime. Thank you so much.